Choco Cupcake, hello, how are you? How is your week ending? Alyssa! Alyssa! Oreo! Hello, Oreo. Stitch 101. People. Good that you are here on time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the gift, Alyssa. The ever generous. Mhm. Um, I have to join live more. Hi, teacher. Hi, Kara. I just did this paper earlier today. Ah, log sect. You just did this paper, huh? That means to say, if I test you now, you get everything correct. Yeah? Mm. I'm Star, but I changed my name. Oh, Oreo! Okay. Hello, Oreo. So now I cannot call you Star anymore, is it? Now I call you Oreo. Ah, yeah. She was hospitalized. Who's hospitalized? Let me read back, huh? I have to join live more. Hey? Oh, your English teacher has been absent the whole week. Poor teacher. I hope she's fine. But nonetheless, the revision doesn't stop, huh, Alyssa? We wish her well. But of course, we are not able to move PSLE. So, with the extra time that you have, make the most out of it to continue your revision. Um, wait, sure. I be AFK for a few minutes. I'm gonna finish my compo. Yes, Cupcake, please finish whatever is needed to be done, and then you come back. And then she said she AFK. Now she's talking to Alyssa. Okay. Uh, what about PSLE? Wow, your teacher who did the live earlier, right? Okay. Uh, Hi. Oh, yes. Actually, by the way, Teacher Rin is here in the live. Say hi to her. We just do self revision. Yeah, Alyssa. I know it's not the easiest thing to do self revision, especially when there are parts, for example, when you're trying to understand why you got something correctly and why you got something wrongly, because you actually have to know both, because you cannot just rejoice and say yay, wow, I got it correctly. And then if you got it correctly just because you guessed it right, it's very hard to repeat the success. In order for you to get every single question correctly, the same type of question, you have to understand the process on how you actually deal with that type of question, no? So Teacher Mitsuko, I got 34 compo. Thanks to your compo tips and teacher rinse tips. Oh, thank you, Galaxy Boys! Woo! Yes, I'm happy. I'm happy. Good job. Aim for 35. Wow. Teacher Alyssa! So, Galaxy Boys, I would suppose that it's good that now you're reaching the lines of 30s for your composition. Okay, the moment you reach that standard, then you can move higher a bit, slowly. But I honestly believe that some students can actually do a leap. Okay, you can do a leap as long as you now have a better grasp of the most important skill sets that you need for composition writing. Okay, I improved 5 mark because of you. So wow! Oh my god! You see? Correct. So that's the thing about writing. It's constant practices, but also really being exam smart. Okay? It's more than just writing well, it's also understanding the examination requirements. So come examination day, you give them what they need from you. Okay? Okay, people. Okay. And of course, in this live session, the revision also continues, strong people of the world. Yes, so today I will mix up more editing practices plus comprehension close. But one important thing. Teacher, I got 30.5 for putting compo and I just need 0.5 to get band 2. You see? Oreo, you're very close. You're very close. That means to say, Oreo, you need to understand the very main reason for the deduction of your marks, either from content or from language. You have to understand. If need be, ask your teacher, get an explanation why, so you do not repeat the same mistakes and you understand what to repeat because you got them. You did some very good things as well for you to get 30.5. Yeah. So we move on there. We move on. Yeah. Now, what was I about to say? Yeah. I wanted to share with you. Oh my goodness, I'm getting old. Now, um, before I start the revision, as in now, just 1 minute, People, it's already 20 of September. That means to say, Teacher James is almost back. Yay! Teacher James is almost back, people. You will see her again next week. Woo! Yes, and of course, as a gift, you see, Teacher Jamie's, even if she go and travel, right? She comes back and gives you a gift. So when the moment she come back, right? Some people right need time to relax after a long trip, but Teacher Jamie's means business. Okay, she comes back and then she will do the night live for all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Remember this. Remember this. I keep showing this to you. Remember this. It's next week. Finally, next week. I think how many days? Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 3 more days to go. We will use the creatives of Yuki soon. 3 more days to go. 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. on Tuesday and on Wednesday. Our curriculum directors, Teacher Jamies and Teacher Agnes, will be entertaining your burning questions related to PSLE paper 1 and 2. Okay. I have consolidated some that you have actually commented in our post. Please continue commenting on the post that looks like this creative so we can continue consolidating your questions and we shall give it to them. They can adjust it during the live. They will also be going through some very commonly tested grammar questions and S&T questions. And of course, very important final examination tips for all of you before your paper 1 and 2 next Thursday. Oh my God! You see, sometimes I always remember the PSLE feeling. At some point, I become more anxious than my students. Sometimes my P6 students will come and say, teacher, very dramatic teacher. It's okay, teacher, calm down. They calm me down because sometimes I get more anxious than them. Perhaps not really anxious, like very excited now, very excited. So after working with a student for sometimes some of them have been with me before even P6. So it's like there's an excitement for me to finally get them the chance, give them the chance that this is the chance to really show what they can do. Okay? Now, people, after PSLE, go finally do my Malacca learning journey. Yes, Galaxy Boys! Plan what you want to do after PSLE, but at the moment, not yet, Focus on revision first, people? Now, going back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we shall do this quickly, people. Now, we shall do this quickly so you can move on to your comprehension close, which is not the easiest portion of your composition of your paper 2. Now, remember there is 6 on 6 people. A few SOP have for editing. There's 6 grammar correct and then 6 spelling errors for this. This is the last time. This is the last PSLE where the grammar errors and the spelling errors will be 6. It will be lowered down to 5 next year. Now, do keep in mind a few reminders. Hello, Oza. Hello, welcome. I have been, Choco Cupcake. You said about 5 minutes ago that you were AFK, but you've been talking to us since 5 minutes ago. Okay. I just did this. Okay, Alyssa, you just did this. Okay, Ken, then you shall give me all the right answers. I will not accept wrong answers from you. Okay, people. Now, let's move on and do this quickly. Quick fire round. Quick fire round. I want to see how quick you are in thinking, but still being very careful of your answers. Okay, people. Now, I shall highlight while I'm reading so people who just joined will know where we're at. Okay. Now, let's start. Okay. Grandma had a pair of old glasses which she had worn for over a decade. Obviously, a spelling error, people. Decade, what do you call that word that consists of 10 years? Spelling, please. Decade. People, so are you also excited? I'm still in the first number, ladies and gentlemen, people of the world. Okay. Now, decade. Thank you, Galaxy Boys. Oza, yeah, decade is spelled this way. Okay, let me add, and you all think this is very easy, Hold on. You all think this is very easy. Since we're talking about decade, how do you spell century and millennium? Okay, now spell century and millennium for me. Spell century. Okay, I see Alyssa. Galaxy Boys, now millennium. Wow. Okay. So millennium is double what? How many doubles in millennium? Succeeding. Okay, very good. Okay. Let's just be clear since we're talking about time here. Millennium. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now my question is it double N or one N? Mm-hmm. Millennium. Very good. It's double N. Am I correct, people? Is it double N? Millennium. Check it for me. Later, I'm teaching a wrong spelling. There is a technique that double N, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, there is a technique that I actually did tell my students. Mil, mil, millennium, millennial. Yeah, I remember there was a technique I taught my students to remember this spelling. You know, I think of very funny ways to teach my students how to spell words because some of them just go here and then go there. Long, long. I like that. We have a very, very, very beautiful suggestion from Teacher Rin, ladies and gentlemen. Because a lot of students normally forget that it's double L and it's double N. Okay? So she suggested for you to remember that millennium is double N, L, and double N. You have to remember that this time duration is very long. But to live in this duration of time is actually very nice. We cannot yet, but we should try as human beings. Long, long, nice, nice. Just like embarrassment is red, red, shy, shy. Millennium is long, long, nice, nice. Good job. Let's give a hand to Teacher Rin. Okay, people. Now, we shall continue the quickfire round. However, her eyesight had weakened over time. Though with her glasses, okay, this is definitely wrong. Though is spelled correctly. So this is not a spelling error, but a grammatical error, obviously. Mhm. Though with her glasses, she could hardly make out the features on my face. Okay, so she's wearing the glasses. Nonetheless, she still cannot really make out the features of the writer's face. So what is the right word? Okay. Lynchy, hello. Lynchy says although, Ozil, engine forever says even. Okay, the answer is actually, you are right. It's even. Okay. Now, I understand that although is also another conjunction that you use to provide contrast, and indeed there is contrast here. However, if you use a although with her glasses, it's grammatically wrong. You have to rephrase to fit although inside it. So you probably have to say, although she is wearing her glasses, right? So, hello Susie, welcome to you, madam. I still don't know how though becomes even. Um, okay, as in you want me to explain, Alyssa? Okay, let me go through this. Okay, so when you say even, right, we are looking for technically here we're looking for an adverb. No, 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 no. So this is a grammatical error. So when you use even, you want to say that there is one reality, but even with that happening, there is still an issue. Okay? Something is happening, there seems to be a solution to the problem, but then even with that solution, the problem persists. So for cases like that, when you put the seemingly solution to the problem and then another phrase that says the problem is persisting, you have to say even. Okay? Even. That's the conjunction you use. Okay? So even with her glasses, she could hardly make out the features on my face. So I think a word here that you can look at, Alyssa, I think the word here that you can look at is hardly. Perhaps people find it easy to use even when there is, even though she's like this, she's still like that, like that, like that. So hardly should tell you that the problem is persisting. Okay, even with a seemingly good solution, the problem still persists. Okay, now she could hardly make out the features on my face. Can I see all your answers? Susie features, Ozil features. I see, Kira. Okay, one thing I'm very happy with your answers is that you did not omit the S. So normally some students, right? They're very confident, like, oh, I know how to spell teacher. So I'm gonna spell it, feature. Now, if they give you the wrong spelling, that's Um, if they give you the wrong spelling, that's plural, keep it plural, don't change it. You're not tested on grammar, huh? So, sadly, what is the main cause of deductions for editing is carelessness. When correcting spelling, just correct the spelling. Keep the word form that was given to you. If they gave you past tense in the wrong spelling, keep it past tense. Okay. Um, so she could hardly make out the features in my face when I stood in front of her. Eh? My features are even if give a choice. If give a choice. Okay, people, I think some of you give here is spelled correctly, so obviously this is not a spelling error, but a grammatical error. I need the past participle here. What's the past participle of give? Let me find you answers. Given, 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 correct. This is pretty straightforward. If given a chance, she would rather not step out of the house. Oh, poor grandma. Okay, moving on, people. Moving on. Okay. Now, in spite of grandma's reluctance, okay, look at the funny spelling of reluctance. Obviously, how to spell reluctance, people? How to spell reluctance? Okay. Here's one more thing. Um, be very careful with wrong spellings that may sound like another word. Yeah, be very careful with that. For example, I think one example I can give you was that this is you fall for this, especially when you rush through your work. So there was, I think I've gone through this with you. Let me see if you remember. There was once where the wrong word was conscientiously. Mhm. And trust me, when they give you a wrong spelling, they will still try their best to spell the right sound of the right word. So even if it's wrong spelling, read the wrong spelling. So at least you know how the original word sounds like. So some students, even when the wrong spelling spelled as conscientiously, some of them answered consciously. And of course, they got it wrongly. Okay. So still read and figure out the sound of the wrong spelling. Okay. Since reluctance, reluctance, Kera, that is the correct spelling. Thank you. Okay, I'm seeing your spelling of reluctance. Good job, ladies and gentlemen. Reluctance. It's T-A, huh? T-A-N-C-E. Okay. Now, I insisted she should get her eyes checked. Grandma was visibly, look at this pen, visibly, visibly upset as I held her hand and slowly led her to the bus stop. How to spell visibly, people? Spell it quickly, quickly. This one is an easy one. Uh-huh. Kira, Jose, good job, good job. Okay. Visible from the word visible, visibly. Mm-hmm. Okay, from the word visibly as I held her hand to let her to the bus stop. On the bus stop, very good. I took the window seat and told her about the scenery. Wrong spelling again. Spell scenery for me quickly. Okay, from the word scene. Scene. Action like that. Scenery from the word scene. I see quickly. I want to see your spelling. Okay. Uh huh. Uh huh. Very good, Ozil. Answering before liking. Well done. Good job. Galaxy boys. There's one letter I need you to reconsider. Which letter is that? I need to see it. I need to see it. So think of the word seen. Spell the entire word. And then just add re at the end. Yes, very good. Okay. So remember for scenery, if you're confused, just spell scene first. Okay, scene. And then just add Arwaida. Yeah? So then remember our scenery, I need to spell scene first and then read. Okay? Now, moving on. With every describe, with every what, I needed to change the word form to noun. Describe is a verb. I needed you to change it to a noun. I think you remember we were doing a quick exercise converting all verbs to noun, verb to noun, verb to noun. Now you're very good at this, so I trust that you know how to do this. Description, description, description. Good job. Grammatical error. Description. This one change of word form. We need a noun. With every description, grandma's spirits lifted. Oh, what a nice young lady. At the eye clinic, the doctor saw grandma's glasses and said, joking, that he could send them to a museum. Okay, you are trying to modify a verb here. Remember, when you're describing a noun, you need an adjective, correct? But when you're describing a verb, you need a what, people? What do you need when you're describing a verb? I see what you're doing here. Very good, engine forever, Ozil. This one is easy, right? When you are describing how a verb is being done, you need an adverb. And it's very easy, very good. It's very easy to turn a word into an adverb because all you have to do is to add ly. Jokingly. Good job. All right, moving on, people of the world. Grandma gave an awkward smile upon hearing that. How to spell awkward? Commonly misspelled words, so careful when you spell. Okay, awkward, awkward. Okay, okay, I see it. Oreo, correct. Engine forever. Ozil, well done. So awkward. Just remember there's awk, as in there's two syllables, right? Awkward. Every syllable has a W. Remember that. Because for some reason, I also noticed that students always forget this W here. Okay? Awkward. Now, seeing her discomfort, sensing her discomfort, the doctor gave her the reassured. Again, tested. You're tested on your word form change. I need this to be in a noun. What's the noun of reassured? Type it in quickly, quickly. We are done. We're almost done with this. Quite a long word, but I know you know the word nonetheless. Let's go. Okay, well done. 5 more seconds, people. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, good job. Reassurance. Well done. He gave her the reassurance that she would see better with her new glasses. Wow. A week later, we returned to the clinic with her new glasses. Grandma was delighted with her new glasses. Okay, this time around it's the opposite way. Now it's a noun. I need it to be turned into a what? An adjective. Okay, what's the adjective for delight? Good job. Well done. Delighted. So we just add ed. On our way to the bus stop, she asked, "May I take the window seat?" Oh, so cute. Now she can see things because now she has glasses. Well done, people. Well done. Set number 1. That's just the first set, people. That is just the first set. We move on to set number 2. Are you all ready? Where is that one? Was 7. I'm going to number 8. Oh, no. Am I going to number 8? Yes, I'm going to number 8. Okay. The origins of the Dragon Ball Festival, people. Do you guys know? Hi, Cher, I'm back. Hello, AC. Welcome to you. Now, AC, let's do a quick round of editing. Let's go, people of the world. The origins of Dragon Ball Festival can be traced to ancient China. The festival evolved from the practice of revering the river dragon. Okay, so it looks very correct, but it isn't. There is something about the spelling here. Sometimes they are very sneaky. You know why? They will not miss. Sometimes they will misspell it so much, but sometimes um, they will only like do one letter. It's either they add one letter or they omit one letter or they change one letter so that they will start to see like some students will not notice this like that. Okay, so but I trust that you all noticed. I am proud of you. Good job. Yes, it should only be one L, ladies and gentlemen. So one L, people, not double L. Okay, evolved. Okay, it was also a mark of respect to the poet. How do you read this? Qu Yin. Thank you very much. The honorable man in ancient China. Okay, now you say, okay, a very common thing, articles, huh? We have never mentioned this name in the previous part of the passage. Therefore, this is the first time we're mentioning it. So if it's the first time, the is a definite article. That means to say you already know that I previously talked about this. Okay. Now, since I have no reference for this, we need an indefinite one. which is or an. And of course, that will depend on the beginning sound of the word, whether to use or an. This case, honorable, honorable. Mm-hmm. It starts with with a H, but when you pronounce it, it seems like it starts with a vowel O. So we use an for that. Okay. We are, yeah, very good. Very good. How do I call this person? The name is what? This is a flower. Is it a flower? So I'm just gonna call you flower. Now, um, be careful. Are you all clear when to use or an, people? Please don't fall for the pitfall of like, oh, if it starts with a vowel in the spelling, that it's an. If it starts with a consonant in the spelling, then it's ah. No, refer to the sound, okay? Because the first letter can be silent when you pronounce it. So you say an hour, right? But hour starts with H. H is a consonant, correct? An honorable man, an honest person. But you can also say a house, right? You don't say an house, correct? So be careful. Rely on the sound, beginning sound, instead of the beginning letter, especially for when it starts with H. Okay, now moving on. Legend has it that the river dragon controlled the rain and people worshipped the creature during the summer months. Okay, they worship. How to spell that kind of worship? Spell it for me quickly. Worshipped, worshipped. Very good. Okay, as in, so it's basically W, not A, but an O, right? And then it's double what? Double P. Okay, people, very good. That was a quick. Now, Chu Yan, who lived during the period, was so upsetting over the fall of his country to the Qin army. Okay, we're talking about his feelings. Okay, so if we're talking about his feelings, we need adjective. Okay, so it has to be what? What's the adjective version of upsetting? Okay, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, you're all very smart. Upset. Okay, he was so upset over the fall of his country to the Qin army that he threw himself into the Mi Lu River in despair. Is it Mi Lu? Correct, huh? Do we know how to... This one? No. I see. So that's how you pronounce U and O. I see. Okay. Despair. How to spell despair? Okay. Very good. Yeah, very good you are. I used to struggle actually spelling despair when I was younger. Good job. It's D, and then it's E, not I. And then pair as in pair of, as in two people, two things together, put together, AI. Okay, despair. Well done. Now, some versions of the legend suggesting that fishermen at the scene attempted to appease his spirit. Okay, some versions of the legend, okay, suggesting, okay, if you are to use ing here, there has to be a helping verb, which is what was suggesting, were suggesting. But it's not there, so that means to say this is a wrong word form. What is the right word form? Suggested, suggested, suggested. Okay. Now the question is, are we supposed to use present tense or past tense? Okay. Now, some versions of the legend. Now, we are talking about the versions of the story, okay, which exists until now. Therefore, what tense are you using? So we all got it wrongly, right? Yes, it should be present tense, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Because we're talking about the actual versions that we still read today. So these versions today are talking about the past, right? They're talking about the past, but we're talking about the versions of these stories until today. So we need the present tense. And of course, Versions, people, this is plural. Therefore, is it suggest or suggests? No S, huh? No S at the end. So some versions suggest that fisherman at the scene attempted to appease his spirits. Again, they doubled something that should not be doubled. How to spell spirit, people? Mm-hmm. Let's go. Uh-huh. Or you was given the answer. Well done. It's only one R. Okay, one R. Okay. Appease his spirit by throwing rice stuffed in bamboo stems into the river to prevent the fish to eating his body. Prevent, it's the correct, what's the correct preposition you pair prevent with? Prevent what? Prevent something from. Very good. Well done. That was quick. From eating his body. Others say that rice offerings, okay, others say that rice offerings were snatched by a river dragon and the rice had to be bundled in leaves instead and tied with 5 different colored silk threads. Okay, rice offerings is actually a spelling error. How to spell offerings, people? So you chose to double the F, is it? Who else? Spell offerings for me quickly, quickly, quickly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Remember that it's double F, okay? Offerings, and of course the wrong spelling is offerings. We keep it offerings, okay? Now, moving on, the triangular rice dumplings thus became entwined with the festivities. Entwined as in you twist it together, you interweave it, okay? Entwined, okay? You wind or you twist together or you interweave. How to spell that word? Entwined. I see. Oreo and Ozo. Anyone else? Give me your spelling of entwined before I proceed. 5 more seconds. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Galaxy Boy is very close. Just one letter away. Yeah. Okay. So it starts with E. And then the rest of your spelling is correct. So we are close enough. Good job. All right. Now, moving on to the next one. Yet another version tells of farmers rowing out in dragon boats in their attempted to save Xu Yan. Okay. In their attempted is spelled correctly, so this is definitely a grammatical error. In their what? They did something in their engine forever. You're asking for the meaning of what? Of entwined? Is it? Let me write it down, huh? So when something is entwined, it's goes together. It's like also interweave. Yeah? Like entwine like that. Okay. All right. Well, okay. Very good. Rowing out in dragon boats in their attempt. Okay. They were trying to attempt something, so you just basically cancel the ed that they added there. Moving on. Since then, dragon boat races have been held yearly to remember him. Wow. Today, the Dragon Boat Festival, including boat races and eating of rice dumplings. It is a proud heritage of the Chinese culture. Today, okay, again, this one is pretty obvious to you that we're doing present tense. Okay, so what is the right word form instead of saying including? Includes. So present tense, but must also look at the subject verb agreement. We're only talking about one subject, so I need the singular form, which is includes. Engine forever. I typed in the meaning of entwined here. Do you see? Or is my handwriting too ugly? Very hard. Very hard to read, is it? Includes. Very good. Singular and present tense. So that's one thing I would like to tell you before I move on to the next set. Most of the time, there will be some questions where you will be tested with more than one grammar concept. Okay, And for a lot of times, tense and subject verb agreement always go together. Okay, so be careful with that. And it can happen in your grammar questions. It can happen even in your editing questions, as you can see from here. All right, so be very careful. Master your tense and subject verb agreement. We are moving on to the next one, which is okay, people, this one is very easy. Let's go, let's go. Okay, now Mr. Yuichiro Miura, okay, is a Japanese adventurer. Wow. Talking about a Japanese adventurer this time. At the age of 80, he succeeded in reaching the summit of Mount Everest. Wow, good for you, Mr. Yuichiro. We haven't done it yet. Okay, how to spell summit? Okay, it's a spelling error, obviously. And we double what letter? Very good, very good. We double letter M for summit, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. 80-year-old, he succeeded. 80-year-old. I wish I still alive at that age. For the third time, making him the world's oldest person to do so. Wow, give a hand for Mr. Yuichiro. His journey to the peak is marked by a series of unprecedented hardships. Is obviously spelled correctly. Therefore, therefore what? He was the first man. Listen carefully. So it says here at the age of 30, he succeeded. Okay, he succeeded in reaching the summit. Okay, that journey, because that journey is already over. That means to say, we have to say, and it's also singular. Singular, and it's past tense. Therefore, we have to say was. Good job. Another case. An example when I tell you, you could be tested by more than one grammar concept when you are correcting a grammatical error in your editing, okay? By a series of unprecedented hardships. There's a lot of things that he had to go through before achieving that feat, people. So we all be clapping, wow, so strong, but we don't see all the hardships before it. Let's go. Let's try and see what were the unprecedented things that we're talking about. Now, after climbing Mount Everest for the second time at the age of 75, second time, he decided he will make a third attempt at the age of 80. Now, we're all talking about the past here. What's the past version for will? This one should be easy. If you turn will into a past tense, I didn't know you all be. Let me zoom it out a bit, huh? So you all can see clearly the words, okay? What's the past tense? So when you do direct speech to reported speech, you move one tense backward. Will becomes what? Will becomes Galaxy Boys have spoken. So Galaxy Boys said would. That is Kara also. Very good. It's would. Would make in a third attempt. Wow, 3 times. Unbelievable. However, the following year, he landed hard in an awkward angle after a ski jump and broke 5 bones. My goodness. Including his thigh bone or pelvis. Okay, so we are basically listing out all the bones that he broke. Okay, so if we are listing out something, we're going to say apples, oranges, and mangoes, correct? Because thigh bone and pelvis bone are 2 different bones. Okay, so what is the right word here? Very good, very good. It's N, okay? Especially when you do a listing. Of course, before you introduce the last one, you say N before it, correct? Okay. Doctors told him that he would have to be confined to a wheelchair. Now, here's the thing. When you have be, you have to be what? Okay. You follow it with what form of the verb? You have to be taken to the hospital. You have to be ruled out of the game. Okay, you see the pattern. What is that taken, ruled? We use what? Oh, see, confined. You're using past participle. Good job. So they give you confined. You just add letter D at the end. Well done. Good job. Okay. Now, still, Mr. Miura's determination was unwavering. I will definitely recover. Are commonly misspelled words, especially even in composition. A lot of students like to use the word, I will definitely win the competition. You like to use the word definitely. Make sure you know how to spell it, huh? Okay. Now, I see definitely. Anyone else? I need to see your spelling of definitely. Be careful of your vowels. The commonly misspelled part are the vowels inside. Okay. Okay. Very good. You got it correctly. The spelling is the. Okay, so there's one thing I tell my students to make sure they don't misspell this word anymore. Okay. Definitely, it comes from the word finite. Do you know what does this word mean when something is finite? If I tell you life is finite, do not waste your time in the world. What does it mean to say when something is finite? No, teacher, I only know the word infinite. Where did you get that word finite? But the moment you know the word finite, it should help you remember the spelling lah. Useless. Eh, Kira, I just said life is finite. Then you say life is useless. What you think is finite? So I say life is finite, therefore make the most of your time in the world because you're not gonna live forever. So what do you think? What do you think finite means? So when something is finite, it has an end. Okay, it has a definite end and it's short. Zim zam zam. Hello, zim zam zam. Welcome. Okay, it's short and it has an end. Okay, that's finite. When you say infinite, the moment you put the prefix in the word finite, infinite, so you put it, you turn it into forever. So when something is infinite, it runs forever, correct? Okay. So definitely also came from the word finite. Okay. So remember the spelling of finite and then remember that definitely, for definitely, you just add D and D at the end. Not long lasting, Kara. Very good. Not long lasting. I'm going to heal and climb again. Wow. With this resolve in mind, he followed a daily rehabilitation regime closely, and after 3 years, he fully recovered. Amazing. Okay, rehabilitation. I see the spelling of Kira, engine forever. Anyone else? Where is your spelling of rehabilitation? Zim Zam Zom. Galaxy Boys, Ozilla. Okay. Hi. Hi, Chloe. Like that. I'm dramatic. Rehabilitation. Good job. Well done. That is correct. I say rehab. And just add ilitation. Rehabilitation. Okay. Now, he had completely overcome a situation. He had completely overcome a situation who was considered irreversible. Okay. Now, obviously, this is wrong. We are not referring to a person, so we don't use who, but what do we use to refer to a situation? If we're referring to a situation, we use what word instead? Which? Whose, Chloe? You use that for when you talk about ownership. Like, whose pencil is this? Okay, who owns what? So when you want to talk about ownership, that's when you use whose, as in WHOSE. But for this case, okay, who cut the cheese? Okay, now here's my question. You are correct. You are correct to say that this is which. But can I also say he had completely overcome a situation that was considered irreversible? Can I use that? What you think? Can it be that? People of the world. Hello, Warren. This is Henry Park. Now, people, if I use that, is it acceptable? That's my question. I am asking you now because a lot of students always confuse which and that. So now my brain not working. So I want to point this out because it's just something very common that happens, not just in editing, but also in comprehension close. So like, can I say which? Maybe that. I don't know what sounds good. Or maybe either or. Which and that is not either or. Let me just clarify this so this doesn't become a source of your confusion on PSLE or whatever exam that you're doing. Which and that, huh? Now, you use which when you want to talk about an additional info, extra. You want to talk about an extra info about something. Okay. Amanda, okay. That's when you want to talk about an info, an important info, okay, yeah, that cannot be omitted. Because if you omit it, it will change the meaning of the sentence. Mm. So that for important information that cannot be taken out of the sentence, which for information that's additional, that means to say without that info, the sentence can still exist and stand on its own. Okay. What do I mean by that? Let me give you an example. Okay. If I say, for example, the green bicycle that is in the garage is broken. The green bicycle. Okay, what do you think is the difference between these two? Which is in the garage is broken. What's the difference in these two? Hello, log sect. Is there a difference in the meaning for these two sentences? They are both grammatically correct, mind you. It's just that they both have different meanings. Hmm. Okay, I tell you what, okay? So if I were to talk about this first one, the green bicycle that is in the garage is broken. What I mean to say is there could be other green bicycles somewhere else. So I am talking about that specific green bicycle in the garage. So there is an assumption if I use that, there could be other green bicycles somewhere. And for you to not get confused, I am talking about the green bicycle that is in the garage, that is broken. Okay? Yeah. Now, if I say the green bicycle which is in the garage is broken, this one basically means I'm giving you additional information about this green bicycle. There's no other implication. But if I say the green bicycle that is in the garage, I have to specify because there are other green bicycles and I don't want you to get confused. So the that here is important because there is an implication that there could be other green bicycles. Okay? Okay, people. So please don't be confused with that. Okay? Now let's move on to our next page, which is this one. We're not done, people of the world. Our story of Mr. Miura is not done yet. However, Mr. Miura was again beset by difficulties. Wrong spelling. Spell difficulties for me properly, please. Let's go. I see. What else? Quickly spell it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, log sex decided to double the F. Hello, Iman. Welcome to you. Let's go, Iman. Okay, Kara, also keep it difficulties, keep it plural, please. Do not change the word form. Very good. So firstly, double the F. They tried to trick you by giving you only one F. Difficulties. Okay, I think this one is very basic, but shall remind you from the word difficulty, TY, you turned it into, change Y to I, add ES. So it's basically I, difficulties. Okay, good job. Now moving on, let's go. With only 4 months left after he departed from Mount Everest, a chronic illness, arrhythmia, recurred. Okay, first things first. With only 4 months, people, After he departed, remember he's planning to climb the Everest, the peak of the Everest again. He's preparing for it. So we're basically talking about 4 months what? Before. Correct, people. Correct. Before. He departed from Mount Everest, a chronic illness, arrhythmia, recurred. Recurred as in it came back. It happened again. Okay, it happened before. He had it before. It recurred. When something is recurring, it's repeating. How to spell recurred, people? Type it in, please. Type it in. Ladies and gentlemen, holy guacamole. It just joined. Welcome to you. Okay, Kara has given her spelling. Where are your spelling? Galaxy Boys. Flower. Okay, double R. So you basically all spelled the double the R. Very good. And then ED. Well done. Forcing him to undergo 2 operations. Okay. It was considered impossible for him to climb, but he set off for the Himalayas without changing his plans. So very, very determined man. It was a decision that surprised everyone. When he finally reached the peak of Mount Everest, he felt a surging sense of accomplishment. Wow. Hello, Choco Cupcake. Oh, welcome back to you. This technically I finished my compo a long time ago. Where have you been then? Okay, so I'm surprised here is actually finally. Usually it's spelled the way a lot of students misspell this word. They always forget that one letter right there. That one letter right there, which is what? People. Okay, Kara. And Flower also gave a very good. The R. Sir. Sir. So I make it big there, huh? Surprised. Good job. Well done. I can watch this live on my main account, Lo. Why not log sex? Does it mean to say in your main account the live doesn't show? Or is it like you can't watch because what? Is it like technical issues? 10. Let's talk about Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan. You guys know who Jackie Chan is? PSLE is so close. Yes, Chloe, a few days left. It's like we could already count down to PSLE. So stressed. Chloe, do not stress too much, okay? Do not stress too much. There's still something you can do in the last few days, but don't stress yourself out too much. Still get enough sleep that you need. Eat the right kind of food. Drink the right amount of water. No, I know Bruce Lee. Oh my God, Zim Zam Zam, but you don't know who Jackie Chan is. Why? You should watch some of his shows. He's quite good. Also a good man. Huh? Many people love him because he's generally a good man. Okay, Jackie Chan. Yes! I'm bad at this section. I always get 1 mark. 1 mark only or 1 mark wrong? You tell me. You mean that? Oh, okay. I thought I'm doing editing. I'm doing Compre Close. Okay, let's do Compre Close now. We're here now, so let's do Compre Close, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's go. Okay. So now that we are in Compre Close, let's talk about some reminders for Compre Close. I get 2 only. Yeah. Then Galaxy. Okay. Now Compre Close is a serious part of paper 2. I know it's not the easiest part, understandable. So let's talk about a few things that I need you to remember for Compre Close, huh? Let's take this seriously now. You've been breezing through editing like, oh my God, correct answer after correct answer. Very good to you. But let's talk about this very quickly, yeah? So Compre Close. What's the first thing you do when you're dealing with a section? Okay, you flip the page, you're done with editing. Voila, Compre Close. What's the first thing you do? Read. For what purpose? Why do you read it first? I mean, as in you read the whole passage. Hello, Alyssa. Welcome back to you. I'm asking people, the moment you enter the Compre Close section of your work, what's the first thing you do? Should we read through passage without trying to fill up the blanks? Good question, Set. Okay. The first thing I would like to tell you is because read is such a very broad word to say. Some of you could be reading word for word with all your heart and soul and take 10 minutes to read, or some of you could just like go through very quickly. So my word is skim through. Okay. Skim through the work. For what purpose? Okay. To get the idea. Big idea as in the topic. Okay. So the first important thing is find the big topic, find the big idea. So that's number one. It's easier for you later to figure out contextual clues because a lot of your skills relies on you understanding what are the contextual clues being given to you. Okay, so understanding what the passage is briefly talking about, like, oh, is it on the, like, not very, don't go down to the very much detail, but at least you know, oh, it's environment, it's talking about the mosquitoes, right? It's talking about a specific person, or it's talking about um, one specific calamity that happened in a place. At least when you know that big idea, your brain starts making thinking of vocabulary related to it. So if this is technology, it is highly unlikely for you to be talking about non-technology related words. Okay, so it will help you with contextual clues later. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is so you skim through, get the big idea. Okay, the second thing is you start to read and fill out answers. Okay. While you start to read and fill out answers, look out for clues. So what I'm going to do now is, what are the common types of pre-close questions do they ask the students? Okay. I will group this into three. Yeah. The biggest one is, of course, contextual clues, because your answers, so this is when, for example, they give you synonyms or meanings. Mhm. They give you synonyms or meanings or antonyms or examples. So for example, in there I say, she's a very pretty lady. Her blank face. So like I just said pretty. So maybe you find a word synonymous to pretty to describe her face, correct? So they gave you synonyms of the word that they omitted, okay? Other times they will give you the opposite. Mhm. They will say the place was extremely messy, okay? I couldn't stand the place was extremely messy. I want it to look what? Right? So you said messy, but you want it to look what? Perhaps you want to say clean, right? Sometimes they will give you the actual meaning. So he coined the word, okay, this scientist coined the word blank, which means, la, 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 and then they give you the meaning of the whole thing. There you have it. They have the meaning. Give me the word that they actually gave you the meaning for. Okay. Now, Kara, I shall move on to Compre OE also. Don't worry. Now, examples. Also, they give you examples now. Like, she was able to teach them blank, and then like grammar, like MCQ like that. So sometimes they make a list of examples. Sometimes, for example, she bought new blank for the house. TV, washing machine. Oh, she's talking about appliances like that. So contextual clues, check it out. Now here's the thing about contextual clues. They could be before the blank or after the blank, huh? Some students, they just give up. They read, and then blank. Oh, teacher, I cannot. I don't find any contextual clue. And then they stress out. Continue reading first. Sometimes the clue is after the blank. Okay? Okay. Yeah. Now, the second type of questions they like to ask you are collocations. What are collocations, ladies and gentlemen? Collocations are these phrases or sentences that always go together. These words go together. Okay. And so if you are familiar with them, then it should be easy for you lah to figure out what's in the blank. Okay. Words. Okay, I'm just gonna put it here. That always or normally, usually go together. So examples of collocations are phrasal verbs: take in, take on, take off, take over. So they will blank one of them lah. Take blank. Then, oh, this should be take off. Talking about the plane. Mm-hmm. Or sometimes they blank the verb. So blank on. Oh, it's take on. Mm-hmm. So very common phrasal verbs. But of course, your idioms or proverbs. So they go and say, I saw people from all walks of what? Then you know the line, right? Oh, that's a normal line. I can say all walks of. Okay, you give me the answer, please. Uh-huh. Give me the answer. People from all walks of. Waiting, waiting. Well, also okay. In well, also O five is liking. Also O five from all walks of what? Very good. All walks of life. So idioms and proverbs. Okay. And then finally, of course, they still test you with grammar. There are still grammar things there for grammar. Normally, there's still articles. Yeah, they could still be testing you with articles. They could still be testing you with conjunctions. So you have got to know, however, furthermore, all these conjunctions are still there. Articles, and even subject verb agreement is still there, and prepositions. Okay, so knowing what could come, what you could be facing is actually half of the battle. So you need to know what are the common things they like to test you when it comes to comprehension codes. Okay, so what can we do now is to try to figure out what of these three are they trying to test you for each number. Oh, teacher, this is contextual. Teacher, this is collocation. Teacher, this is grammar. And maybe all the other things. Okay, we can name some of them as well. So from there, we shall continue talking about Jackie Chan. Yeah? Let's try people of the world. Let's go. Jackie Chan was a Hong Kong-born Chinese stuntman, actor, and director. His dangerous acrobatic stunts and engaging physical humor made him an action film star in Asia and helped to bring kung fu movies blank the mainstream of American cinema. Okay, this is um, one of your common to bring what? This could fall under collocation because this is a phrasal verb, or it could also be grammar. Bring what? Uh-huh, uh-huh. Now, this is a very, hello, Evan Del Rey. Keep in mind, people, this is why I'm telling you, phrasal verbs are not very easy because there's thousands of them. So if you want to continue learning phrasal verbs, join Teacher Rin's live. She's teaching a lot of phrasal verbs. There's thousands of them, and some of them have there's very little nuance to know what's the difference. Yeah. So when you want to describe causing something to enter or to be introduced into a specific situation or area, the right phrasal verb for that is bring into. Okay, so it should be bring into the mainstream of American cinema. Okay, thank you, people. Let's move on. Okay, let me zoom out. Chan and his family blanked to Australia when he was 6. Okay, so you already know this is very much contextual because it was mentioned here that he was um, a Hong Kong born person. So he was born in Hong Kong. So therefore, they mentioned another country here. So basically, they what? And then it pairs with the word to also. So, okay. Okay, the word is moved. So, Stitch 101, there's two, right? So you can say teacher, isn't it? Say it's grammatically correct to say went to Australia, but what we are looking for is moved, because if you went there, it could be that you're traveling now, you're coming back to Hong Kong like that, right? But we are talking about them really moving there to stay there. Okay, so moved to Australia when he was 6. Okay. The following year, his parents sent him back to Hong Kong to blank a strict boarding school. What do you do in schools? Okay. Um, you were sent to a school, so what do you do? That there is a specific verb that you use when you're talking about going to school. What verb do you use for it? To. Log sex. Kara. Do you guys agree with their verb there? Is it attend school? A strict boarding school? Correct. I shall accept that. That is correct. To attend a strict boarding school. Well done. You're being very careful with your word choice. He studied acrobatics, singing, and martial arts. Wow, what a talented young man. Okay. These blanks landed him roles as a child actor and later as a stuntman. Okay. This is one of your very important contextual clues that I told you. Contextual clues, examples, right? They gave you examples. Acrobatics, singing, and martial arts. Contextual clue. These are called what? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Skills, I see. And they gave you 3, right? So it has to be plural. Very good. People. See? You're looking at your contextual clues very well. Very good. Chan often traveled back and blank. Okay. Collocation. Remember words that go together. Back and what? Collocation this time, not a contextual clue, but collocation. 3 words that go together. Back and. Log set. Very good. RX varies. Well done. It's back and forth, ladies and gentlemen. Good job on your collocation. To visit his parents and work in Australia. However, he finally made a decision to blank to Hong Kong, a place he called his permanent home. Contextual again. Cool. So he's been jumping, right? Jumping back and forth, Australia, Hong Kong, Australia, Hong Kong. But now I'm using the word however. So basically, if I use however, I'm going to introduce a sentence that will contrast the previous sentence. So if he's moving back and forth, however, he finally made a decision to blank to Hong Kong, a place he called permanent home. Another clue. Okay. 2. Now, live could be Chloe. However, I want a word that shows that he went out of Hong Kong and he's going back. I want that more specific word to say that he was from Hong Kong, he left Hong Kong, and he's going back to Hong Kong. What's the word for that? Because live and reside, same. Okay, stay, also same. But that doesn't tell me that he was there, he left, and then he's coming back. Very good. RX varies. However, because of the word to, you need the base form of the verb, yeah? To sing, you don't say to singing, right? You don't say to sang. Very good. The word is return. Well done. Be careful. Be careful, still be careful of your grammar because sometimes you may get the words, yeah? Very good. To return to Hong Kong, a place he called his permanent home. Okay, good job, everyone. Chan commenced his movie career by appearing in blank roles in 2 films which starred Bruce Lee, the rising martial arts superstar back then. Okay, now basically we're talking about the nature of the role that he's in. Okay, so Bruce Lee is the main character. So if he's not the main character of that movie, what kind of role is he taking then? And he just started, yeah? When you just started, you don't go big immediately, correct? Normally that's not some people do, but that's not the most common thing, especially in Hollywood. Okay? So he just started his career. So of course he will go for what kind of roles first. Okay, like he's like a sidekick, right? Very good. So there's a right word for it. You are correct. You're in the right track. You understand the context that he's going for small roles, but there's a term for it. Now, and I can tell you this is contextual clue, antonym, because the opposite of the word is in the passage. What you mean, teacher? Yes, the opposite of the word is in the main passage. I shall show you, huh? The opposite of the word is here. Not long after Lee's untimely death, Chan got his big break and started receiving offers to take on major roles. Now, see what I told you earlier for contextual clue is real. This one is antonym. What is the opposite of major? A very good. Well done. Minor. So, two things that came into light. Number one, I told you earlier, some of the clues may be after the blank. This is one of those cases. Number two, contextual clues can come in many different types: synonyms, antonyms, examples, meanings. This one is one of the antonyms. They gave you exactly the opposite of the word. And it should be easy to point out because it major roles, minor roles. Okay, very good, people. Now, not long after Lee's untimely death, Chan got his big break and started receiving offers to take on major roles in films. Blank, blank. Obviously, this may be a conjunction. He started writing, directing, and starring in his own movies. So we're doing quite a big jump lah, from the beginning. And then if you jump to what other things he managed to accomplish, what is the right word for it? I see. Think about it, people. Think about it. Okay, 5 more seconds.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Very good. Very good. Eventually. Okay. Eventually, he started writing, directing, and starring in his own movies. His own stunts were often extraordinarily dangerous, and he nearly died from a fall that fractured his skull and blank his hearing. Okay. Um, that near he almost died because of course he fractured his skull and what his hearing, what happens, what's the worst that could happen to you for your hearing, mm-hmm. What happened to your hearing, people? Correct. Lost. He lost his hearing actually. Mm. Chan sustained many injuries as a blank of doing his own stunt work. As a This one very easy. I know you can do this. Very quick. That was very quick, Alyssa. Very good, log set. As a result of doing his own stunt work. Okay, very good, people. Moving on. In 2016, Chan became the first Chinese actor to receive an honorary Academy Award. Blank recognized his distinctive international career. Again, we're talking about an additional info. If you want to add an additional info, not about a human being, okay? Okay. Now, okay. There we have it. Now we have which and that. And I just talked about this earlier. Okay. Now, first things first, Chloe, I will not accept to because to is always followed by base form of the verb. So if we were to write to here, it should be to recognize without the D. Okay. But since this one has a D, it cannot be preceded by to because to is always followed by base form. So to sing, to dance, to act, to jump, to walk. Okay. Yes. So to is now out of the picture. We're left with which or that. What did I tell you about which or that? Which, when you want to add an additional information that can be omitted and the original sentence can still stand. That, if you add an important information that cannot be omitted, otherwise it will change the meaning of the sentence. Okay. Now, in 2016, Chan became the first Chinese to receive an honorary award, okay, which recognized his distinctive international career. If I were to cancel this, the original sentence can stand. Therefore, this is an additional information. Okay, it doesn't change the meaning of the sentence, so the word should be which, not that. Yeah. Okay. Correct. We learn from mistakes. I'm getting all wrong. No problem. I'd rather you get it wrong now. Okay, get it wrong now. It's fine. Now and then we learn it later. Chan had done it the hard way to blank his dreams and goals to be an international cinematic star. This is a very common collocation. What do you do with your dreams? You want to what your dreams? You want to? Mm-hmm. Correct. You want to achieve, right? Same thing, you have the word to here followed by base form. No S, no ES, no D, no ED, no ING. Okay? Now, he also founded the Jackie Chan Charitable Organization in 1998 and directly involved in providing financial blank to schools and universities around the world. Another collocation, you provide financial what? Some of you actually gave this word earlier. You know, Stitch 101. I just realized your profile picture very funny. Is it a broccoli? Okay. Support. Okay, very good. Financial supports, you're correct. Collocation people. Yes, teacher. It's a good entertainment that kept us all awake. Now, can say funds, financial funds, not, I will not accept log sects, okay, providing financial funds to schools because the funds could be, um, funds is a more generic term now. It could be if you provide financial fund, it could be that you're the one funding the entire school and the university. But when you say financial support, it's like more of a donation instead of you providing for the entire um, financial fund for the institution. Okay. Now, he is a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador who has campaigned blank animal abuse and pollution. Okay. Cannot say campaign for, it's animal abuse and pollution. I remember the students go and say campaign for. Animal abuse. You don't want them to campaign for this. So you have to say campaign against. Very good. What's not to like? This guy is very nice. He has also assisted with disaster relief blank to the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami victims. Chan is truly one of the pride in the international film industry. So, disaster relief, what? This one collocation, words that go together. Disaster relief, E, E, E. Giving you a clue. But remember how you don't get a clue on PSLE. So, disaster relief, no. Fireworks. Very good, fireworks. Relief efforts. I'm wondering whether we could say effort or efforts, but I would say disaster relief efforts is a more common term. Okay. Good job, ladies and gentlemen. Well done. Now, we have 10 minutes. I shall entertain some of your questions. Okay, so a few things that I'd like to recall. The contact, the Compre close that I actually just went through with you just now literally showed some of the things that I discussed with you earlier. So two reminders for Compre close. Skim through to get the big idea so you are ready for contextual clues. You know the topic that is being discussed. Number two, from there, when you know the big topic, start reading and filling out the answers. Okay. Sometimes the clues may be before or after the blank, so read through, do not fret. Okay. What are the most common? I'm not going to show you now. What are the three things that I told you that you will be most likely commonly tested with for comprehension close? What are those things that I wrote below? Can you remember? Should I start from MCQ or comprehension during PSLE? A good question, Alyssa. This is something I would, our curriculum directors, Agnes and JVs, will discuss with you on the day of the night live. So keep a lookout. I need to be there, Alyssa. I did write that down as well because it's a very commonly asked questions from our students, even from my classes. So that one's for sure. But my question for you, Alyssa, is: do you have trouble with time management for paper 2? That's the first thing I must ask you. When are you doing live again, teacher? Tomorrow or Sunday? Stitch 101, I'll be back next week. This Sunday, Nathan will be the one hosting the live, but yes, he will still be going through paper to help you with your revision. Yeah, I have too much time. Okay, Alyssa. So now here's my thing. Then you don't have so much of a problem on where to start or when to end. Okay. Normally, the rearrangement of the sections, I normally talk about this, especially for students who really have trouble with time management. Okay. But if you have, but one thing is for sure though, paper two can be draining. And then to some of you, like teacher, my brain gets gives up very easily. But then your Compre OE is at the end, you see. So some students who wants to start with the hardest, that's why they start with Compre OE first. But technically, if you don't have problem with time management, your brain will be in full force on that day of the examination, I can tell you. Okay. Um, Ozil 05, which essay type is the hardest to score in? That's a good question, Ozil. Okay. And one thing that PSLE students, those of you who are not in secondary school yet, this is something you should brace yourself for because there's quite a lot of essay genres that you need to master for secondary school. At the moment in PSLE, in primary school, you're basically just going to one or two types of genre, um, personal recount or personal reflective. But you jump to secondary school, there's about two, four, six, seven of them that you need to master. Okay, so to answer your question, Ozil, which type of essay is hardest to score in? That one depends. I would say that it's harder to score in the three factual essays compared to the three fictional essays. Okay, let's talk about that, huh? Why? I'll tell you why, huh? So remember, you have factual and you have fictional. The one you can just make it up, right? That's why, of course. Mhm. So for me, discursive, expository, argumentative are definitely harder than um, personal recount or reflective. What are the other fictional ones? Eh, descriptive. Literary digest is what's the third one? Personal recount, personal reflective, descriptive. How come I forgot the third one? So going back to your question, it's harder to do this compared to this. Reason being, discursive, expository, and argumentative, you need to have very strong evidences to support your arguments or your points. Okay. Now, when it comes to which amongst the factual essays are harder, that will now depend on the student. Okay. What do I mean by that? So some students, they like argumentative. Okay, some students will say, teacher, argumentative is the hardest. But some like argumentative because they can choose a stand. They can choose a stand and provide so many supporting arguments for it, right? But for example, for expository, you have to balance it out. Okay, so it will definitely depend on the level of your understanding of a topic and how much evidence do you have about it. So then that will go in to say which amongst them is the hardest for you and the easiest one for you. Okay, now let's go to the next question. Hold on. English paper gives so much time. Log sector, if you think, so I'm telling you, those of you might sure not to say, not to do descriptive. OZO 05. Um, Teachers will definitely give you very specific, what do you call that? Very specific suggestions. OZO 05, what is your, ask your teacher if your teacher um, is able to justify why they give you that advice, then of course not. Listen to teacher, but of course ask why. Anyone who tells you something, always ask why. Okay, understand why they are suggesting it. Okay, now if you have so much time, okay, this one is goes to all of you who have so much time for the English paper, huh? Okay, if you have so much time for paper two, make sure that you check every single pages again. that you have not missed out any question. Please, please, please do not leave any blank. Okay? Do not skip anything. No one will penalize you for not trying, for trying. I'd rather you try and get it wrongly than you don't try at all. Just try, put an answer there, do not leave anything blank. Okay? And of course, try to make sure that you have checked your answer. Check your answer. And finally, if you have so much time with your paper, I need you to be very careful of those sections that has passages. Okay? For comprehension open-ended, you've got to make sure that while you're answering every number, you go back to the passage. Some of you are very confident, huh? Like, oh my God, I'm number two. I answered number two, number three, number four. You answered five straight questions without looking back to the passage at all because, like, oh my God, teacher, I read it once, I memorized everything already. No problem. Do not do that. Mm. If you're doing Compre OE, because almost like every question will need you to back it up with evidence from the passage. So, especially that you're telling me you have so much time, as you go through every question, refer to your passage. Okay, get the keywords that you need and make sure your answers are placed there in a grammatically correct sentence. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. And what are common types of Compre OE questions? Let's go through that before I say goodbye to all of you. Yeah. Eh, let me open a note. Okay. Very common types of Compre OE questions. Okay. What are the types of Compre OE questions that you know, people? There are some very common ones that you always notice now, even if the passage is different every time, which a lot of students tell me, teacher, I cannot revise for paper two. Cannot revise because it's going to be a different passage on the day of the examination. What's the point? Now, it may be a different passage, but the question types may repeat. When you understand what types of questions they like to give you always can learn a pattern on how to tackle that question. You can learn a structure and how to tackle that kind of question. And so you repeat that structure and you repeat that step-by-step process every time. Mm-hmm. It's the same way when I teach you grammar, right? So I teach you that two-step process when dealing with quantifier questions. Check the context and then check the noun being modified. Of course, they're going to give you a different quantifier question every time, but you have a certain process that you follow when you're dealing with that type of question. Yeah. So do the same thing for your OE and all the other sections of your paper too. I sometimes get confused reading a passage. Hello, hi. I understand. Sometimes, depending on the passage choice, some of them can take a bit of time for you to understand. So that's why I'm telling you, um, read again. Read it again if you have to. Okay. And number two, to check for understanding. Before moving on to the next paragraph, try to summarize the paragraph that you have just read. That's a good test for you to know if you have somehow a level of understanding of that paragraph. Okay. Okay. Okay, it's already 7 o'clock. How long is this session? Hello, Summer Star. We are actually just about to end the session. So we started Summer Star at 5:30. It lasts until 7 o'clock. Now, I haven't talked about the types of questions for CompUOE. I shall deal with that next week. So, people, I will have one more live with you before your PSLE. Okay. So for that live, I may go through some very important PSLE reminders with you as well. Okay, so please be with me. I think my next live will be on Monday. Is it Monday, people? Let me check, huh? My next live, hold on. Today is 20th. So next live is, yes. My next live is Monday. I will entertain some of your PSLE related questions, people. Okay. Thank you so much for Sunday no live. There is a live on Sunday, just not me nah. But please join our live on Sunday with our live host Nathan. He will also go through end of year papers, so it should help you with your paper 2 revisions as well. So join our afternoon Sunday live, which will start from 4 o'clock. I don't know, start from 3 o'clock all the way to 6:15. Yeah, join Nathan so the revision continues. A bit more of sacrifice, people. Your PSLE is almost done, so put in a bit of effort now, and then think about rejoicing just about just when it's ending. Yeah. Thank you very much. Stage 101, I'll be with you again on Monday, ha. Don't cry. Okay. But Sunday still can join. Okay. And teacher James is back next week. Yes. Okay. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining us today. I'll see you again. See you when I see you. Bye bye.